Yes, I was here 5 years as a seminarian here in Rome from 93 to 98, and it was a phenomenal experience for me. Being in the city, of course, as I mentioned before, with these holy sites and to be near the Holy Father was, for me, a very touching experience and formative experience. The education I received at the Gregorian and the John Paul II Institute for Marriage and Family were very, very important in my formation. Obviously, I would say that what I really left here with, there was wonderful friendships. I'm a priest 25 years, and we formed amazing fraternal bonds here in Rome. Because part of the program in Rome here is when a new man comes over, a first-year seminarian, he normally stays for 2 full academic years before going home for the first time for a summer pastoral assignment. So for 2 years, we were here. Maybe our families visited, maybe they did not. And so you really have to kind of learn to develop a new relationship with Jesus Christ. The ties back home are kind of cut, and you're formed as a man and a Christian and one to prepare to give his life as a priest. So I have wonderful friendships from my time here that continue to this day. I know the men being ordained today would say the same thing, and they're looking forward to having years and years of good fraternity with these men throughout the country for years to come.
Do you promise respect and obedience to your ordinary?
I do.
May God, who has begun the good work in you, bring it to fulfillment.
What, in your experience, what makes a young man discern for priesthood? What makes a young man decide to serve God and also the people back home as a priest?
A great question. And our men come from very diverse backgrounds, and I can tell you we have 106 men in formation at the North American College, and I am in awe every day. I thank God on my knees every day for the men that are here because they're superb, wonderful men, joyful. They want to be good holy priests. They want to be formed well. So it's an honor for me to be part of their formation and to be the rector of the North American College. They come from different backgrounds, different experiences, their family life, their origins, and yet they all hear that same call. It's an individual call from God to each one of them, and so it's inspiring that they listen to that call, they respond generously, and they come here and they want to be formed well.
You hinted at this before. It's probably not the easiest times for being a priest today. So what do you think is the most important thing that young men will take home with them from their formation here in Rome?
These men are so generous, but they know they're about to embark on a life that's very joyful, it's fulfilling, it's rewarding, it's also challenging because, again, we have challenges within the church and outside of the church. But it is really an exciting time to become a saint. We know from history, and church history in particular, that the saints were risen up in times of persecution, of difficult times within and outside the church. These men are ready to step up and to be called to heroic virtue and to become really the saints that we're all called to be. And so I think it's a very exciting time. They go in with eyes wide open to what they're about to live and take on as a man.
So you said there were there were more than 1,000 people coming here to Rome to witness also the ordination of the deacons here.
Yes.
And to support them. How can our viewers also back home support the North American College?
Pray for them. Sacrifice for them. As they pray for people back home, they sacrifice for their families, but also people back home watching and the people they're about to serve. So I would say just pray for them, and pray also that men hear God's voice, other young men hear God's voice to become a priest. It's really, I think, all the church asks is that a young man just leave his heart open, as I did, as these men about to be ordained did. Leave your heart open to the possibility and let God surprise you. And so we can all together, those here, those back home, can pray for that.
And those watching who want to discern for priesthood themselves, what is your recommendation to them? I
would say, again, leave your heart open, pray. Start praying the rosary, and if you don't know how to pray it, ask your pastor how to pray, or your parent how to pray, your catechist how to pray, and just start seeing yourself as maybe that certainly God has created each one of us for greatness. God has a plan for each one of our lives, and for some young man listening, it may be priesthood. For some young woman listening, it may be religious life. So leave your heart open to that and let God do the rest of the work.
Msgr, thank you so much.
Thank you, Andreas.